And I think we're back.
Are we?
That was weird.
Oh yeah, we are. Yeah,
Looks like we're back. Randomly
down,
got. That's
what
weird.
exactly did McCoofer do? I don't know, but we have solved the problem.
Yeah. That was weird because I did not lose internet connection really at all. I still stay connected in this conversation with you. And yet, Streamlabs or Twitch disconnected us.
Yeah, what can you do? How far are we digging down?
I am not sure. You're
just digging?
I'm just digging.
Having fun digging.
I've just gotten used to digging.
Wasn't the goal to bring down and to create a larger pond? We just getting rid of all the dirt, just to get rid of it.
I mean, ultimately, we got to decide what we want to do with this landing here. But my feeling is that I kind of want to get the land that's up on that big slope there to gradually make its way down to here somewhere. I don't know exactly how we're gonna do that. Whether or not, like, I don't know how much rock is up there, but yeah, let's get back to the surface mining. I don't know. We also have to remember our mine is here, right? Our mine is here. So let's just...
It is there, so we have to go around it.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to get this one last tile here.
I think one thing that is good is if we do go too deep, we have enough dirt to bring it back up.
Let's move you. You are causing me trouble. Every time I come close, they want to attack me. All right.
That's great.
I'm going to do one more tile here, and this is our actual deed token tile, I think. Yep, our token's right here.
Do we actually need to do that tile?
I kind of want to bring... So, from our mine entrance, I kind of want that to be sloping down from our mine entrance.
Alright, see you later, Ultimate Savior. We'll definitely have fun in our ghetto Minecraft. I don't know.
I know, I always overkill the digging and terraforming, but I think in the end it's all worth it.
Or at least it works out in the end somewhat.
Okay.
See, it's not about the end goal, it's just about having fun with digging.
Right. It's about how much dirt we get to dig. And surface mining that we get to do. Because of course...
So you're waiting for your alt to sail into a harbor. How long is that going to take?
Oh yeah, if you're still awake after this amount of time, boy,
That's gotta be...
it's very late.
Awesome. 5 minutes. It's not too bad. I think this is going to take longer than 5 minutes to make our pond.
Agreed.
3 a.m.
Yeah.
It's practically morning. You might as well just stay up.
You know, I'm kind of bummed that YouTube got rid of their video editor.
They did quite a while ago now.
Yeah.
They incorporated a lot of its features in its editing of a video.
What do you mean?
Like some of the features. like cropping and
Okay.
other things that you would do with a video.
But you
There's
can't
just no editor anymore.
put 2 videos together now.
Right. It's not as simple.
Oh, I hit rock. It doesn't make sense to me. Like, why get rid of something that was so useful?
I ask myself that all the time. Yeah. So Bryce, are you looking at your terraform, the amount of space that you have, and thinking, this might take longer than I expected? I feel like that happens every single time you create a new project.
Yep.
Even the one we started here.
Oh yeah. Every project that we start, it always feels like we hit that point. Yes, we're onto the terraforming stage. Okay, this is going to take a year.
I'm starting to see that my vision and my patience not exactly the same.
Do you remember the terraforming for the labyrinth? That was just
God.
Unreal. I feel like by the end of the terraforming, that was what burnt us out.
There was this big gap between finishing the first part of the labyrinth and starting the second part of the labyrinth.
Yeah.
Big.
I mean, there was
gap.
not only the dig the whole thing down to rock, like the whole area was dug down to rock.
Yeah.
And then there was opening
There's
all the
such a big
mines.
gap. We created Linton, I believe, in between.
Yeah, yeah. But before we did that, we dug the whole thing down to rock. We opened up all the mines. There was a good 20 some odd mine entrances and built the whole mine network underneath that first part. And there was at least 10 veins that we had to mine out. And then when we were done that, we were just like, oh my God, we're like done. This was just too much terraforming.
I think this is going to be out. This excites me. The fact that we can create our own ponds. I almost feel like maybe on the other side of the pond, there should be like another exit.
Okay.
That leads back to the water, like a big circle.
Okay, so like out. Oh goodness, my mouse is going crazy. Okay, so out like that way, like.
Yeah.
Okay. Sure. That would take a whole bunch more terraforming because this land's pretty high over there.
We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see how we feel at the end of this. So when we first started this journey out here, and we were talking to, I think at some point we must have either talked to Buddha or he watched our first stream of doing this. Or no, we were talking about
it was right
that we were going to do this.
Yeah, it was right before that first stream. I announced that that's what we were going to be doing. Oh, I know what it was. It was in one of my videos from the car. Updates from the car. Yeah.
Yeah. So we were talking about how we were going to shed all of our gear, and we weren't going to really bring anything, and we were debating whether to bring a steel and flint. And something that triggered him, saying that we were debating whether to bring a steel and flint triggered him saying, well, I've always thought, or he was thinking about for a very long time of how he could solve that problem or make it easier for a new player to shed their steel and flint and still be able to light an oven or a forge until the time that they were able to get a steel and flint. And there were some debates going on as to what the best solution for that would be within one of the discords that was going on. And I guess I'm seeing that he actually implemented something.
Mm-hmm.
So what exactly did he do?
Yeah, so he made it so that you could light a forge if you use a kindling with a burning wooden item or cloth item. What's the exact wording?
Burning item.
A burning item.
What is a burning item?
Yeah. So this took me a little bit of time to figure out. So it's almost like you have to take something that was like wooden. Let me see if I can find the exact wording here. It is... Here it is. You are now able to light furnaces if you are lacking a steel and flint with a kindling and a hot burnable item. That's what it is, a burnable item.
Hot burnable item. Now, how do you get a hot burnable item?
Yeah, so burnable items are considered to be like wooden tools, wooden scraps, logs, cotton, or cloth. So the way that you would get that to be hot is you would have to put it into a campfire to get it to become hot, but not totally burnt. And then with a kindling in your inventory, you light the forge. I mean, I personally appreciate the fact that there is something now available to people who, you know, want to do what we did and start like the Iron Man challenge, and now you can light a forge, at least.
You don't have to worry about your steel and flint, pretty much.
Yeah.
How do you light the campfire? So to create a campfire, you can create one with just, I believe, 2 kindling.
Right.
Is that right?
Yeah. Or is it a kindling and a wood scrap? I can't remember.
Kindling and wood scrap, something like that.
Yeah.
You don't actually need a steel and flint for that.
Yeah, it is like a chicken and egg circle, yeah. I mean, it does solve the problem of not needing a steel and flint. And it makes it so that it's annoying enough that you would want to get a steel and flint. And
Yeah. I'd almost recommend not using your steel to create campfires if you can get away with it, just because it damages your steel and flint, that you can't repair it.
Agreed.
Unless you create one. You could create a steel and flint that's repairable.
Right.
And immable.
So, yeah, the idea is that every character begins with a steel and flint. So, for most people, this change doesn't matter. It really only matters for people who want to try to do what people have called the Iron Man challenge, which is where you literally throw away everything that you start with, and you start with an empty inventory. And classically, this challenge has been considered to be impossible unless you bring along a steel and flint. Now, I was thinking about it, and I thought it's actually not as impossible as you might think.
Well,
now,
you just can't really light a forge before.
But now that I realized that you can forge for flint, right? Like, we got a bunch of flint when we were rummaging.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, we were able to find corpses of hellhounds and hell scorpions all over the place. So we butchered those and got charcoal. And we got iron. So I think with those items, you could make yourself a steel and flint pretty... I mean, it's not super easy, but you would... I guess the hardest part would be finding the charcoal pieces.
And to have enough skill to make one.
Yeah. Sipiku seems like we're addicted to surface mining. It does, doesn't it?
The goal is not surface mining. I love how Wurm works. Like, okay, we're creating a pond today. It's like, oh, well, we want to extend it. Let's just dig down a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, no, there's the mine. There's the rock's too high. Let's start surface mining it down. All in the hopes that at some point we'll have a little pond to call our own.
And Survivor Man, I love that blog, by the way. If you haven't seen or read Survivor Man, you've missed out. Like go look it up. It's like insanely entertaining. But I believe that Survivor Man brought along a steel and flint with him, and that was the only item. And if the hot burnable item stays hot long enough, you could carry it as a tinder. Interesting. I guess you could, but I feel like it wouldn't be long before it cooled off in your inventory.
Well, remember that there was a time where you couldn't take a wood scrap and a kindling or whatever it was and create a campfire.
Right.
Like that was an addition at some point. I can't remember, after we started playing.
Right.
And so before that time, without a steel and flint, you could not create a campfire. You could not create any fire at all.
Right.
How would you survive in that?
Right. So back when Survivor Man did his thing, there was no, you had to have a steel and flint to start a campfire. And
there was no way. You couldn't create steel. You couldn't create a steel and flint without fire.
Yeah, so Survivor Man was written by a character named Eisgood. I think that was his name, yeah. And I'm pretty certain, I'll have to read it again, but I'm pretty certain that a steel and flint was the only item that he brought with him. Now, he did the authentic Iron Man challenge where he started a very brand new character with no skill whatsoever and then dropped all of his gear except for the steel and flint, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, that's quite insane. My food
we
bar,
didn't do that.
My food bar is getting very low. Yeah, we did not do that. We brought.
Do you need food?
I actually. Well, okay, hold on. Can I? No, I just used my refresh.
So you do need food?
At some point.
I can make food.
At some point or another, we will need food. I just used my refresh, though.
Take a look.
And after the amount of digging that we did, we have a good number of rare dirt that we can use to sacrifice. I'm pretty certain we have over 10. 10 rare dirt. That's how much digging we did.
Let me take a look.
I mean, the ultimate goal is just to get the land around this mine, this pond here, to not be so steep.
At least make it look natural.
Yeah, make it look somewhat natural.
Let's take this.
Yeah, pretty much. Not a slip and slide. Oh, I already see those little fish animations in the water.
Nice. Gotta find our kindling somewhere.
So what are you
Alright, ready
making?
to go.
Breakfasts?
I believe so, yes.
Okay. We're still at the beginning stages of our cooking because...
That, unless you want some casserole.
Either one. But see, that's the thing. Between our two characters, we have some decent skills, but there are some that we're just like completely lacking because we have alts that did those things. Like hot food cooking. And so there's a lot of things that we need to sort of fill in the gaps still. So with the birds back in Wurm now, this is from their long vacation, you guys think we'll finally get actual ducks and frogs too? Since we've been hearing those like forever. Yeah, totally.
If they ever were to implement stuff like frogs or ducks or that sort of thing, would you want them to be like the birds, where there's sort of scenery, or would you want them to be, you could target them? Do you want them to be an animal in the game?
I totally want to be able to target birds. I would totally work on my archery if that was the case.
That'd be interesting.
But yeah, something that you could harvest, you know. Already we need feathers for fishing.
We do.
And the only way to get those is hens or pheasants.
It'd be cool if birds came down and like landed on the trees.
Mm-hmm. And frogs, you can have a whole like set of recipes with frogs.
That's true.
And ducks. Frog legs.
Catch the butterflies.
Yeah. Yeah. Totally.
Right, breakfasts are doing good.
All right, let's...
And they're pretty much ready.
All right, I'm gonna have to wait for my food bar to go down just a little bit. Now, I do kind of want to get that tile that's in front of the mine flat at some point before we move too much further.
I thought we have to get more stuff done before then.
I mean, it really depends on how much we want to dig down that, you know, dig down the tower. Do we want to make that tower go deeper?
Probably.
Okay. Currently, it's 37 slope down to the bottom of the tower. I kind of want to get the surrounding a little bit lower too. So yeah, we'll do that. And bring up that tile to flat. And then we got a ton of surface mining to do over here. Oh goodness. I'm just surface mining this down to really steep.
Oh yeah, what was that furry monster behind me? Was it just Adam? I don't know. And good evening, Alan Key. 2240. And have a good night, McCoofer.
Yep. Check you later. Man, so much stuff to do here. Probably want to clear a couple more tiles out over here. It makes me miss my really high quality pickaxe. Just one more tile.
It's true. It's always just one more tile with you.
Yep.
One more. We'll just like one more back. I'll just do this whole row.
Yeah, this row. Exactly.
Row one. Get to the end. It still looks wrong. Maybe one more.
Yep.
But yeah, like with all the stuff that we've done in Wurm, there's a lot of things we haven't done in Wurm. And therefore, I think with this new beginning and with us starting fresh, we could fall into the same trap of doing the same thing that we were doing before.
Yep.
Or we can take the skills that we've never thought about doing, or we never really took the time to work on before. And I think for me, that is going to be the whole thing with wine making and beer making and all that stuff. Maybe beverages. What does it take to be successful in that? What do we need to do? How do we need to design our place around that? I have no idea. I don't know. What do you guys think? If you had one skill right now, you're looking at your skill, and there's got to be one that you've never worked on before. What skill would that be? Which one have you never worked on before, but you've always wanted to? How about you, Adam? If you had to choose.
There's one skill that I haven't worked on that I want to. I don't know. You know, I feel like I've done a lot of the ones that I want to.
Milking or dairy food making?
Yeah, milking. Well, actually, I did do some dairy food making, but it wasn't on this character.
Yeah, I'm on one skill, dairy food making, and I'm one at beverages.
Let's see, what is my dairy food making? Yeah, my dairy food making on this character is 1. My beverages is 36. I feel like I did a pretty good amount of beverages. But see, I got my dairy food making up to about 40 or 50 or something like that on my priest. Although she has like insane hot food cooking skill. So are we talking about skills that I haven't done on this character that I want to get this character up on? Or skills that I've never touched before on any character?
Yeah, archery. Yeah, winemaking, hack it. I don't know. What makes us not do them? Do we not have enough time? Is there other stuff that we'd rather be doing? Or do we just fall into the same sort of daily comforts?
Right. It could be just be getting into
animal taming. See, I've always wanted to do that, and I've been thinking about doing that again here.
I mean, your taming is not so bad.
I feel like I had higher. I thought I had higher taming than I do.
Right. Hey, JRL, thanks for the follow.
Yeah, thanks for the follow. Did
I
lose?
You know why you felt like you had higher taming? Because taming is one of those skills that is just super tedious.
Maybe it was just easier to tame at one point before.
There's still some things that you can't tame, but I think that you got to the point where you tamed the animal that you particularly wanted to be able to tame.
I could tame unicorns. I rode unicorns. Right. I know that because I did it.
Right.
And then I remember like years later trying to do it, and I couldn't tame a single unicorn. Right. And I'm thinking, did I lose skill? Are unicorns harder to tame now?
Let's see. What is my taming skill at? What is taming under? Nature? There it is. Animal taming. So my animal taming is not even 30. Though I kind of remember spending quite a bit of time working on that.
Well, luckily, I have skill dumps. I don't have that much skill dumps. I must have just turned it on at some point. That's disappointing. Oh, I might have it. I might have an old skill dump somewhere. Anyway.
So Alan Key says Bowery or fletching.
So what? I think archery is one of those things that kind of seems very interesting in this game.
Yes. But
what
see,
stops us?
I think that the archery thing is that there's not really all that much use for archery on PvE.
That's true.
Because when you can just go up to any mob and just whack it with your weapon, and it works really effectively, there's no reason to just shoot it from a distance.
Dancing with trolls while trying to complete a rowing. I believe we've all been there at some point.
Yep.
You should definitely build some kind of fenced off area for that.
There is one skill that I've always wanted to skill up. And I've gone through bouts of trying to do it, but just like stopped. And that's meditating.
Yeah.
It's one of those skills that like it gives you a bunch of stuff. Like it unlocks abilities. Like the ability to teleport back home.
Yeah.
You know, just like. But yet, for some reason, I could never bring myself to making it. Like I'll set my mind to it. I'm like, okay, I'm going to just level my meditating, and then I'll do it for like a few days and remember why I never wanted to level my meditating.
I think with a skill like meditating, you plan. You have to have goals, and you have to like lay it out. This is what I need to do. This is how many times I have to do it. This is how long it's going to take, and then be comfortable with that.
Right.
And then do it.
You know, weaponsmithing is one of those ones that I've done the exact same thing with, where I'll go through bouts of like working on it and then getting to the point where I'm like, this is just ridiculous, and stop. And then I'll come back to it like a few months later. It's like, okay, I'm doing it this time. I'm going to get my my weaponsmithing up. And I've done that so many times that I've finally gotten my weaponsmithing up to 70, almost 72.
Nice.
Which is decent enough, I think. But it's gone through many, many, many bouts of trying to convince myself to do it.
That was pretty awesome.
Oh, thanks for this subscription, Ona.
Oh, nice.
Thanks. I'm actually I think that weaponsmithing at 71, that's probably my most, what's the word? I'm most proud of that skill.
Do you feel like there's more weaponsmithing in your future?
For sure, but not until I have Circle of Cunning Tools back. There's no way I'm touching that without Circle of Cunning Tools.
I'm not sure how we're going to get Circle of Cunning Tools. Uh-oh. The maul emits a strong, deep sound of resonance.
Uh-oh.
Then shatters.
Ah.
I think your maul shattered.
Ah, that's okay. Oh. So I'm saying, oh, that's okay. Time to make a new maul. So yeah, for those of you who are just tuning in, Linux over there is offered to spend some time casting Essence Drain on our weapons. He did warn us in advance that there's a very good chance of shatter, because he's just a budding Libela priest, but we took the chance, and apparently my maul shattered. So I'm going to have to make myself a new maul, but that's okay.
I'm sure that's not a problem.
Brian over here was lucky and he got a 70 cast on his.
Yes. This is the first time I've been luckier than you.
Yeah, probably. So there's another question about, let's say, things like Circle of Cunning Tools. Like, we want to work on these new skills, but without Circle of Cunning Tools, the skilling is going to go much, much, much slower. So what is our solution to this? Like, are we going to work with what we have here and try to like maybe build up coin or trades or, you know, make friends with people and try to get our tools that way? Or would we be willing to cheat a little bit? Or should we like just leave cheating off the table whatsoever? Like, I don't know. How hardcore are we going here with this project?
I don't see a reason to cheat.
Okay.
Why would we cheat? We could... I think we're okay to do it the old-fashioned way.
Okay. So does this include making coin and using that coin to spend on Circle of Cunning tools?
Yeah, we could do that. Make friends. All the ways that we did before.
Okay. So one thing that I'd like to do before that is empty my bank out. And then any coin that we make from there gets put in the bank, and that way we know this is like the new money. And that money is sort of like what we're building off of. Now the only issue
about money.
The only issue with that is upkeep. Will we continue to keep the upkeep somehow? Or will we have to maintain money to keep the upkeep for this deed? I know it's only 1 silver a month, so I think that should be doable.
I feel like it would be doable. Yeah.
Or you can become a priest.
Or I could become a priest. Who would ever recommend that? Yeah, I'm not a priest. As much as I love the priestly ways, I don't think I could ever lose all of the stuff that I normally do.
Oh, and Hackett, you started your trip over to us. Awesome. So you had to swim across the border, so you died. Oh, that sucks. And so you respawned at release spawn, so you're starting fresh whether you like it or not. Oh, I hope you didn't lose that much in dying as you made it over here.
Make a house and I can pay room and board.
Make you a house? How about you make yourself a house? We can we got
some wood.
We gotta figure out like a plan for this area, like for our deed. Like, do you think we can have people stay on our deed? Right now, currently, it's a really tiny deed. It's really tiny.
It's not that big of a place.
It's like the
There's
size.
a lot of space behind us, though.
There's an insane amount of space around us in all directions, actually. Like, there's one direction that there's another deed, but away from the water in the back, and then also on our other side, it's like all empty. So there's like lots of room around. I feel like our deed, like again, we're trying like to start like with no money, and we're going to try to fund the deed with just stuff that we make. So we don't want to make it too big, otherwise we're going to have trouble with that.
Nice, thanks for the axe back.
Oh yeah, people can deed close by. That's perfectly fine. Where am I? Yeah, I'm running out of stamina.
We could build a bridge over our pond and you just live under the bridge.
And what about, would we be against bringing another character over here? Or would that defeat the purpose as well?
Yeah, I feel like that would defeat the purpose.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Like, are you really badly wanting to?
No. I'm just throwing out these ideas. I'm also against that too. I think that I think we can do this. I think we can do it with just these tunes. Man, I feel like I need to dig this. I really feel like I need to dig one more.
But you just said that. You just said one more, and then you would stop.
Yeah. One more. Really, one more. I mean...
It's like
okay,
one more,
you know what? Okay.
There's really one more. What's the next one be?
It's just this. You see how this point
No, for
here?
sure, the final row.
I mean, once we see that, okay, let's dig this one down or mine this one down, and we'll see what it looks like. But I'm really feeling like, look how steep it is.
Well, that's why I'm bringing this down.
Okay, all right. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. So you know what I'm thinking is that we should have we should build a tavern or a bar or something like that that overlooks this pond.
Yeah.
Out of which we can serve our beer and wine and whatever else we make. And that'll be our decoration project. See, I think it'll be much easier with like a goal in mind in terms of like, let's make this look like a tavern. Versus let's decorate this in any way that we might want.
Yeah, farming. Farming is another thing I never spent time doing and I wish I was better at. That's for sure.
Mm. Make a casino.
If only you could make a giant boat and go inside of it like a house.
Party boat.
We could always make a boat and then put it at the entrance of our house as a centerpiece.
All it takes is 2 keel sections. You make that
we did do
unfinished.
that back in 2012 when they did multi-story.
Yep. Put it right on the top of our house.
First ever multi-story house. Well, if you're not that good at any skills in Wurm, then you got a lot of fun ahead of you.
Yep. See, we've gotten to the point where we have to like narrow it down. What skill are we going to work on next? I gotta figure this out. What skill am I going to work on next? At first I thought leatherworking. But see, it's no fun when you already have the skill.
I do.
Yeah, so it's no fun working on a skill that you already have.
Yeah, you should work on one that we don't have at all.
So, and again, this comes back to, do I work on a skill that I've worked on before on another character, but we don't have it between our 2 characters? So if so, I think the one that I want to work on is this one, animal husbandry.
We definitely do need someone that can do that.
Yeah.
What's your skill at now?
It's at 25. Which is halfway to 50.
That's true. But, not really halfway.
I know. It's true. Not really halfway. Numerically, it is halfway.
Numerically, in
Time-wise, not. What's a useless skill? Thatching? What else is useless?
Useless skills in Wurm.
Okay, here is a 100% useless skill, milking. I have no idea why there's even a skill milking.
Because you have to milk.
When you milk the cow, you get 100 quality milk. And as your milking skill goes up, it stays 100 quality and you don't get any more milk. It's the same amount of milk that you get when you're one skill.
Can you do it faster?
Nope. I don't know, actually. Maybe it's a little bit faster. But it's not all that slow.
Oh.
So it's completely useless to work on milking. Completely.
What do people think about puppeteering?
Do you get more milk? Is that true? Okay, well, if you get more milk, then at least there is a little bit of use. But you know,
Has anybody worked a lot on puppeteering?
Puppeteering, yeah, there's another useless one.
I wonder if that was supposed to have more use at some point.
Good question. Maybe it was supposed to have more use.
Is Warhammers useless?
I think Warhammers is useless. I really do think that the only reason why you have Warhammers is for using that, what is it called? That artifact? Magranon's hammer or something, whatever it is. It's like on Chaos. And there's only one of them.
That's funny.
And I feel like every so often, the artifact, the mag hammer, yeah. Every so often, the hammer like gets reburied into the ground and somebody has to go find it again. But there's only one of them at a time. And that's the only reason why you have a Warhammer skill.
Wait, so what's toy making for? Obviously, it's to make toys.
Right.
Seems like that would be fairly clear. And the toys themselves, like what are toys useful in real life?
Yeah. Toy making goes hand in hand with puppeteering and yo-yos.
It's to make toys and to play with them.
Yeah,
and that's what you do.
Pretty much. There's not really much.
Questionably, is it useless?
100%.
It depends on your point of view. Like if what you want to do is create toys and create high quality, nice toys, you can do that. And then you can have fun with them if you'd like. And that is, I'm hoping, was the goal for toy making. Could they do more? Yes, but you can say that for all the skills.
So there's a hammer's skill, and the Warhammer is a sub-skill of the hammer skill? What the... And both can only be skilled up by using Magranon's hammer. That's so dumb. That's kind of interesting because there's like a hammer skill under miscellaneous, but then there's a hammer's skill with an S. That's apparently different. With the Warhammer as the sub-skill. That seems like overkill. I haven't been sacrificing to my deity, so my alignment is going down.
That does seem like something that would happen.
Yeah. I definitely sacrificed very often.
What is your alignment right now?
It's at 90, 90.1.
It's a question, how would you find out what your alignment is? Just in your skills, right?
Yeah, under the religion section.
Have you been doing stuff that your deity doesn't like?
Kind of. I mean, we had to bash a couple fences. Deity did not like that.
Well, I'm still at 24 faith.
We've been talking about getting our altars back so that we could sacrifice stuff. Oh yeah, no.
So here's a good question.
Alignment doesn't matter, yeah. What's the question?
What's the point of fire making?
Huh. So I think
There is a point.
There was a change recently, but before that change, fire making is used to determine the quality of the campfires that you make. And consequently, it would determine the quality of the ash that would result in the, making that campfire, and then it turns into an ash. And that was one way of getting high quality ash, aside from coal making. Fire making is important if you can get a girlfriend.
Yeah, that's right. So the important part of fire making in Wurm.
But then they made a change recently
get
where
a girlfriend.
Yeah. So they made a change recently where you can get ash by cleaning out your forge with a shovel. And I'm pretty sure fire making is the skill that's used to determine the quality of the ash there as well. So yeah.
So there is. Yeah.
Ultimately, it's ash quality, which is important for making lye, which is important for leatherworking.
It's also important. Is it important for anything else?
I don't know. Like lighting your forge, the timer that it takes to light your forge, I think, goes down with fire making. There's a couple other little things, but nothing like huge.
Oh. Linux.
Okay,
We have.
sure. Let's see if I can do that. Manage settlement. Is it roles? Add a role. Double check your spelling of your name. IX.
Is there a chuckle in this game? Chuckle. Something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Okay, what am I trying to click here? Surface mining? Let's see, terraform. I think that should work. Where'd you go, Linux? Oh, there you are. You're right next to me. Should be okay now, I think. Give it a try and let me know. Yeah, if tracking is useless. Although it is quite important on PvP servers. No, it didn't work? Okay. Oh, I know what I did wrong. Settlement, manage roles. I think I just didn't I didn't actually add it. I need to name the role. That's the problem. I had that issue before. Gotta name it. Surface mining. Let's see. Okay, try that. Because the roll has now been created.
I think tracking could be used for a lot of things if they implemented it well.
Okay, like what?
Even for PvE, lots of PvE tracking. Well, to be able to tell, I don't know, animal tracking.
Okay.
The nearest, I don't know, champion mobs, or if you're looking for a particular thing, that'd be awesome. Like, especially if you're looking to collect specific animals, you wouldn't just be blindly going out looking for them. You could actually track them.
So would it be like, I want to track trolls, for example, and it will show you like the direction to the nearest troll or something like that?
Sure, or you could, I mean, yeah, you could say I want to track, you know, such and such types of animals. I don't. It depends on how fine-tuned they want it to be.
So Meanwan is saying, in Ultimate Online, if you track, it brings up a list of people in the area and lets you track their direction.
That's what happened in EverQuest. So you could, if you were good at tracking, you could just, it would bring up a list of all the mobs around you. So tracking, and you would just choose one, and it would tell you the direction.
Yeah.
I mean, they could do that. They could make it more in depth. They could, like Sipaku was saying, you could tame a dog and it could enhance your ability, or you could tell the animals to do something. But I mean, that's a whole other thing where they could create a better animal system of some kind, a better pet system.
Right.
Where you could train animals to do certain tasks for you.
That would be really cool. But I think if they're going to improve the tracking system with that sort of thing, they need to improve the animal taming and animal husbandry and just the whole animal system in general.
Yeah, that would be a huge undertaking.
Yeah.
Depending on how in depth they want to get. It's like if they just want to take what we have now, but add the system on top of that. So if we accept this is how animal taming is going to be, you're going to take food or whatever, and you're just going to go up to it and you just keep feeding it. So we accept that. Then they can then build on that. And create some sort of pet system. So they already have that you can tame an animal and you can make it like you more by continuously feeding it. They could alter that a bit. They could it's like you can tame it until it likes you enough to become sort of like a pet. And then at that point it could then tell you, it can become like a Tamagotchi sort of thing. Okay. It can tell you, oh, I want food, I want this, I want you to pet me or scratch me or something, or I want, whatever it wants. And then you have to, it becomes more complicated to get it like you even more. And then when it gets to a point where it's like really, really friendly, and like you can start training it different things.
Or as Sipaku says,
you'd have to.
You can train your parrot to tell you to remember to meditate.
Or just that. Yeah, that could work. Eventually, you'd be like, stop telling me to meditate. You just let the parrot go.
I do really feel like that corner up there is what's hindering us. That one corner.
What corner are you looking at?
Here, I'll show you. It's like this corner right here. So if I go 20 down, and then another 20 down, and another 20 down, and another 20 down, it's like I'm only gonna get this tile into the water right here. if I do 20 the whole way.
Think so?
I feel like it. And it's like really high up. And then on top of that, the other side of the rock goes down the other way.
So all you have to do...
So I was thinking of
just dig this.
digging this right here to get, yeah, that one and this one.
There, are you happy?
Okay, well, and this one over here. This was the one that I was saying. If only this one was dug. It's weird how the rock goes, eh? It comes up and goes down. It's not as nearly as bad as Xanadu.
All right, to tell you the truth, I really thought we would be done this pond by the end of this episode. How naive was I a few hours ago?
You're very naive considering how much experience you have with streaming and setting a goal at the beginning of the stream and how many times we have not finished that goal.
I think I lost you.
Oh, okay.
Let's move this to...
You lost me, but I didn't lose you. That's weird. Can you hear me now? Hello, hello, hello? You there?
Can everybody hear me?
I feel like everybody can hear you because
I can everybody hear Adam?
I can hear you and I can see you.
Because I can't hear Adam.
Okay, you can't hear me. That's weird.
Oh, so Adam can hear me.
I can hear you, yes.
You can hear me?
Yes. Everybody can hear you.
Everybody can hear us both, but for some reason Adam. So it's something to do with me.
Did your earphones run out of batteries?
I can still hear my sound though. I just can't hear you.
Send you a message. How do I send you a message?
I can still hear Wurm.
Okay, you can still hear everybody. That's weird. Oh. Can you hear me now?
Oh, there you are.
Oh, that's
Did
weird.
you mute yourself in Discord?
Somehow I muted myself, but I didn't get an indication that I muted myself. Nor do I know how I muted myself.
That's funny.
Anyway,
yeah, I was pretty naive.
Yeah, with how many times have we done this where we've set out a goal at the beginning of a stream and we never are able to finish it? We've experienced that enough.
It's happened too many times to count. I'm not really embarrassingly not wanting to count that many times.
I feel like at the beginning of this episode, like right before we hit the stream button, we're like, okay, we'll make this pond and that won't take too long. So we need to
like we can do it.
We need to line up a whole bunch of stuff that we're going to do after we finish this pond.
It's like I'm looking at this pond now. Like, how are we ever going to get close to even starting to lower it down?
The real issue is the height of the land around it. The height is just so high.
Why does it seem like we're bringing down like a mountainous hill again? Even though we're not.
Well, the other thing is that we want the land around it to be somewhat reasonably low. Like one thing that I spent a bit of time on that little landing over there that I'm pointing at. That used to be like this high, and it was like flat and square. And so I spent a little bit of time like lowering it and making it look all natural and like. But just that little tip, right? So like we still have all of this area, which is just a big flat landing that we kind of have to work on leveling out and making look nice.
Listen, this is a really good question. Why make a pond when the sea is right there? And the only answer I can tell you is that because we've never done it before.
Yeah.
And this is Wurm, and we can do it.
So the answer is because we can.
Because we can.
And hey, Du Jensen, how's it going?
Yeah, hey, Du Jensen. And Dalbag, you're 23 planks away from finishing the most awkwardly placed guard tower. Where is this guard tower placed? On the side of a mountain, using fences to keep you from falling.
Why put a guard tower on the side of a mountain?
This is another crazy project. I wouldn't say crazy or project. I might say adventure.
Okay, so the water is now that color that I think is kind of ridiculous.
Is it a crazy project or an amazing adventure?
Yeah. So you see that the color of the water now?
Yeah.
It's like
It's got the blue.
Blue, right? Yeah. I don't know.
Okay.
It's
like what you would see an ocean be.
An ocean, exactly. It's what you would see an ocean be, but not like all water. But then when you look out to the water out there, it's not that same color. Maybe it is if you get closer to it. Let's get closer.
Yeah, I think the only way for them to distinguish between this little pond and a big sea, they would have to redo the whole water system.
I guess when you get closer, it does make that color. It's that light blue color. Yeah, you know what? If you're in some tropical island and the ocean color is that color.
Yeah.
It just looks kind of ridiculous on a little tiny stream. Right? Like if
I think it would be really hard for them to change that.
Yeah.
I mean, unless they just change it everywhere.
If they make it look like it does when it's at night, you know, when they make it look like it's clearish, I feel like that looks more.
You want it to be clear? You want it to be? I want it to be more murky. Maybe.
I want it to be maybe like a lake water, like the color of lake water.
You had to have that tower close to your deed, eh? Yeah, is there, like, how many settings are there to improve the quality of the water?
Interesting question.
Let's see.
Let's see if I open this up, the settings come up. Oh yeah, but the game goes away.
Yeah, but it might block the game. It's going to go away.
That's okay. We can do this for a little bit and switch it back after. Let's see. Water detail is high already. Water reflection is already set to almost everything. I feel like I've set all my settings to be high. Let's see. Huh. My terrain and shadow detail is not set to very high. Let's set that. Oh, that closed that. Okay, so I kind of remember having this issue where once I close my settings, it doesn't go back to my game.
Yeah, so you have to maybe turn off the game, or not turn off the game, but turn off the scene within the game. Not the scene, but the the item within.
Oh, okay. So
the program.
Okay, so the item in the scene.
Mm-hmm.
I will just like
uncheck it and then
uncheck it and check it again. There we go. Okay, that seemed to work. So I increased the shadow detail, but that didn't change anything about the water. Although that's kind of interesting that I didn't have the shadow detail all the way up.
Do you notice any difference?
I don't really notice any difference. I'm sure there is a difference, but I can't tell what it is.
I think if you get rid of, let's say, all of the reflections in the water, if you like lowered it, you probably get the more of a look that are looking for.
Or if I lowered it, yeah, well,
Yeah.
kind of don't want to do that. I really do like the new water texture. Like, it makes the water look very realistic.
It does.
The only thing is the color. I feel like it's a tropical sea color.
Maybe that's just the color of Wurm.
Maybe.
We are on a fantasy world.
So, Linux, your water's clearer now. Yeah. Yeah, so if I turn the detail down, I think, like, I don't know. I like the reflections, and I like the detail in the water. I really do like the way that it looks like it's flowing, and it's ripply and everything. That looks so cool. The only thing is that light blue hue. So why not make the pond inside a mine and call it a sauna? Sipiku says.
Sauna.
We do have a pond inside our mine. I want to get rid of it, though.
Definitely created some sort of boat mines and stuff. Guess we haven't done it officially.
Yeah.
Yeah, something I definitely will need to have some kind of, I don't know, cow part, like a part where we have a bunch of cows, so we can milk them, we can get leather from them.
Yeah.
What else do we are we looking at doing cloth tailoring for any reason?
Well, my cloth tailoring is already pretty decent. Enough for whatever we might need. See,
We just don't have any, like, other than cotton. We have no wool. Like, are you looking to get wool?
Right.
Set up that station.
So yeah, like sheep. If we can get some
That's-
sheep, that would be good.
What would the goals be for that?
But
or
here's-
is it just getting some?
The thing that
Materials.
I find about cloth tailoring is that there's not really much need to get it up high unless you specifically want to improve your meditation rugs. Right? Like, there's no, or you know, if you want those exquisite meditation rugs,
Right.
like,
So if diving was a
if I can-
thing, I could create, or I could have made an underwater puzzle. That is true.
that would be cool.
Or have underwater cave entrances.
Right.
Huh? Because you could do that. I mean, you could just. It would be interesting to create an entrance underwater and then mine a path into, like, an underwater cave, or a cave that can only be accessed through the water. That'd be interesting. Put a mine door so you can't see it. Like a rock mine door.
So give me a second. I'm going to quickly just go to the bathroom.
Sure.
I'm going to queue up another set here. All right. There we go.
So many cool things. I wonder, what would you want? What would I want the dev team to be working on next? Like, if they could just be working on one thing this week, working on it, and they'll take any request. What would I exactly want from this game? I wish that they would allow us to swap, to have an option to swap left and right mouse clicks. That should be an option in the settings so that you could, and the reason I say this is because we are used to the way that Wurm is, but there's no other game really, like the Wurm has gone against the standard left and right buttons, and therefore makes it just a little bit harder to pick up for players. And there doesn't seem to be much reason why they can't just have an option to switch the buttons if you want to. Especially, I remember when I first started playing this game, I was playing another game at the time, and that game you would hold the right mouse button in order to move your character around, the mouse look, which is normal. And I kept like just feeling that like the controls were getting in the way in Wurm. Or I'd play Wurm and then I'd go back to the other game and then all of a sudden I'm clicking the wrong button because that game requires me to choose a different. It just would make more sense if there was an option.
Is the other game EverQuest?
No, at that time I think we were playing Star Wars: The Old Republic.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But basically, doesn't matter what game you list, what is the button that you click in that game, whatever game it is, to move to mouse look?
Yeah. It's always the right mouse.
More than likely, it's the right click.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, the worst thing that you could do as a game is to require a player to relearn basic game mechanics.
Yeah, totally.
Like, but yeah, why? Why do that? Why require that when you don't have to?
Yeah, I feel like
when there is a standard now.
Yeah, I feel like my brother-in-law, who tried Wurm, that was the one thing that was really messing him up. Like, he couldn't get around the fact that the left click was the look. Like, he would just right click every single time and get so frustrated with it.
Listen, we all play Wurm. We've accepted it.
Yeah.
We don't work all computer guys, but there are gamers that are not computer guys. Like, there's a lot of them.
Yeah.
A lot of them. They are gamers, but they don't really. They're not good on their computer at all. And Sasha is one of those people. She's a gamer. She's just not a computer person.
It actually wasn't Sasha. It was my other brother.
Oh, is it? Wow, Jerry?
Yeah, it was Jerry.
So, imagine they just switched the mouse buttons.
Yep.
So now instead of a player, like the player could end up hating the game, but at least the player's hating the game and not the controls.
Right.
Because like you don't want a review to say like this game sucks. I can't even control my guy, like, because then there's nothing positive that can come from that. Whereas you can say, if somebody says, I hate this game because, you know, it takes a long time to do anything. It feels like I've been making this house forever. I've dug a hole. And like some people will read that review and say, wow, that sounds like the game that I would like. I mean, that guy obviously did not like the game, and that makes it sound like I would like it. I do that all the time with reviews. People say negative stuff, and I'm like listening to them say these negative things about a game, and I'm thinking, wow, that's exactly why I would like a game is what he's saying. He hates the game. And so, yeah, we need players to actually, we need the mechanics to get out of the way of the game so players can determine whether they like the game or not. And they can start that by simply creating an option to switch the left and right mouse click buttons. It's a start anyway.
I do apologize. It does look like it's we got a couple drop frames. Not many though, like 0.01%, but still. Must be something to do with my internet.
Better than I would do. I mean, I always get drop frames whenever I'm in recording.
I don't know why.
I feel like at some point I should try again.
Okay.
But I'm not sure why. Like, my internet's just can't keep up. I don't know if it's my internet or something. I'm not sure. I don't think we're going to be able to finish this.
No. Yeah. We still got quite a bit to go.
Yeah. And I think at this point, we've been hacking away at this pond for a good, how long now?
I'd say we're coming up to 3 hours. We're
getting close to 3 hours, yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm gonna have to call it a night soon.
I agree.
I wish I could keep going pretty much all night. At least we got to see the beginning of the pond. I'm sure that we're gonna work on this during the week. I'm not sure if we're even gonna finish this by the end of next week.
Well, you know, like the actual pond itself, I think we could get done. It's the terraforming around it that looks like it's going to take a while. And we're also going to have to make some decisions about how we want that to look. Like, where do we want the building, whatever building we put around it, where do we want that? And that might require us to flatten out some more rock or whatever it might be.
Well, more questions for another day. But I think for now, for people that are somehow just watching us now, we will continue our adventure on release. We're on release. If you want to come join us, you can. If you want to come just hang out, you can. Send us a message in the game. We're around. Other than that, I'm assuming everyone else is playing Wurm. Hope you're having fun playing. We're going to continue having fun playing probably this weekend.
Yep.
You're going to play this weekend, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
But yeah, for now, thank you everyone for watching our stream. Not sure if anybody else is streaming right now. If you're wanting to...
let's take a quick peek to see.
To raid before we...
This always takes me too long. I got to figure out a better way of doing this. Let's see, I don't see anybody else streaming right at the moment. Unfortunately.
I know I recognize a couple.
Wow.
Let's just take let's take one last look at our pond. 3 hours, and it looks like we managed to just slightly drench our guard tower in water.
Yep.
But in saying that, it's looking great.
Yes.
It is definitely looking great.
Can't wait till it's all done.
Anyway, have fun worming, everyone. We'll see you guys on the next stream. Take care, everyone.
Good night, guys.